This might surprise you, but it was these guys that really made me want to start learning how to play guitar. It was the early 90s, and I really dug the aggression, the speed, and the technical prowess that it really required to play tunes from metal bands like Metallica. I spent all of my time working on their riffs and their solos and then practicing it with my friends so that we could play it in our band. And we did. We pulled off a number of Metallica covers, and it was a great time. But there was kind of an undertone of something that I'm not super proud of building in me during those formative years, and I think it was because I was really working on the technical aspect of my playing and getting better and better at playing those really difficult parts that I was in love with, and the attitude of kind of guitar snobbery really snuck into me and I'm not proud of it, but I want to share it with you. It was just kind of ever present. Maybe it was bubbling under the surface. I don't think I was super overt about it. Maybe I never even said much about it out loud outside of my guitar buddy friends, but it was easy to look down on simple parts as just being simple and too basic and uninteresting. And there was one thing I know that helped contribute to a shift in me, a much needed shift, where I kind of broadened my idea of what good music really is all about. And I can kind of trace it back to one album, one song, and really one hook. And I wonder if you can guess it, so this will be a little bit of fun. Pause the video and post your comment below of what you think the song is that I'm about to say that really changed things. It blew me away. All right, you back? You got your comment posted below? So it's off of this album, probably not a surprise there, and it's the song Hey Hey by Big Bill Broonzy. I had no idea who Broonzy was, or even that this was really a cover tune. I just heard the song and I heard that opening hook and I was hooked. It was amazing, and it was so different from anything that I was playing or learning that it just blew me away. This song had no electric guitars, it had no blazing solos, and it certainly wasn't based on a down-picked 220 beat per minute riff that I had really been chasing up until that point. But it was cool. It had style, it had swagger, and it did that with just a few notes, and it blew me away. It still does. Now, I didn't try to learn it immediately. It was so foreign to me and what I really was working on as a player in my teens at this point that it really just kind of sat off to the side as something that I enjoyed but didn't really mess with and try to learn. At some point, I knew it was something that I was going to explore and really kind of add to things that I could do as a guitar player. And what really surprised me is just how challenging it was. I could play some fast rock tunes, my picking skills were there, I could even pull off a few solos note for note with the album at tempo, right? But when I sat down to learn this thing out of a tab book, bar by bar, I couldn't do this part. Just keeping that thumb going. And it was humbling. I really had to go back to basics and just get this movement down and kind of break down some of these attitudes that, somehow this crazy metal stuff was better than this simple, little part right there. Just doing that, I found a challenge, even though I could pick, right? It was different. And honestly, I think that's part of what kind of created this chase of it. And I stuck with it. And at some point, the tune came together. But to me, it was really the simplicity of the tune, yet just how melodic it was in this riff. It was unlike any blues thing that I'd ever heard before, and that to me is what blew me away. Take the little finishing lick at the end. Let's play it here for an example. So what's happening here is we're starting out in A and kind of working around these A7 tones, but we're doing it more with a lick. Right? So we're pumping, bass, then back, then we're doing this sort of finish. That right there is really slick. Then this part, which I also love. even have to hold down a chord to play most of that, right? It's coming from this E7 sort of vibe here, but we're really playing some notes right out of the E major scale, the E major pentatonic. It's got a really bright sort of lifted sound to it. If you haven't learned this tune and you're into acoustic fingerstyle blues, check it out, learn it. I think you're going to love it. There's a lot that it can teach you, and it's a great one to have in your repertoire. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love some really crazy guitar guru type stuff. Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, still love Metallica, but everything is just kind of expanded quite a bit. And really, since I got down my first acoustic blues tune, Hey Hey, I really have been on that trail hard and heavy, and it's probably about 90% of what I'm after on the guitar right now. Even though, honestly, it was a little bit uncomfortable for me to talk about my past days as an amateur music snob. It's behind me. I'm serious. Don't worry. But I thought it might be a little bit of fun to share with you kind of what drew me into acoustic blues, and specifically that little song, that little hook, man. It still grabs me. But I want to hear from you. What had that similar effect on you? It doesn't have to be acoustic music, blues music at all, but what was sort of that mind-blown moment for you when it comes to music? Maybe it was the first time you heard this guitar player or that lick or this song. So let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another Tuesday Blues. And until then, practice smart and play on.